Well, good day, YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's very different video on YouTube. And yes, I've just got a bowl of pineapples that have been soaked on water, which looks fairly fantastic. But in this video, I'm going to be doing something very completely and utterly different. And of course, yes, you may have actually noticed that I haven't been doing any toy reviews for the sake of my mental health that I had to really suffer from. And for me, it really has been one of the toughest issues so far this week. And I'm just hoping that maybe when this week is over, man, half of the time I'd say goodbye, good riddance. But hey, I'm also starting to feel relatively nervous. Yes, very relatively nervous of what's actually about to happen. Anyways, let me just go ahead and show you the portfolio of what I've got on my YouTube channel here. And I might as well eat one pineapple, of course. Very delicious. Man. Even though I sort of they sort of, agitate my tongue. I don't know about you, but tastes very nice somehow. Let me just have another one. Oh my god, even though they seemingly, I'll just say it, pain my tongue. They do seemingly, pain my tongue a bit though, because of acid and stuff. They're very nice and delicious. Okay. Wow. That is somehow very nice to know. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and straightforward talk about my history of my YouTube channel. Okay, in no particular order, I've been quite a fairly clean and boring producer, as obvious as this sounds, and you can definitely tell that this is my YouTube channel. And, you know, it's been about, I would say, 5-6 years that I've just started doing any videos on YouTube. And you can definitely tell how relevant it has been. Somehow, the way I make videos these days on YouTube has been very totally different. You can definitely tell why. Yes, I did this video here because I was just doing toy reviews and other whatnot. Okay, so that's why I was just beginning to produce stuff on YouTube. I used to be a bit of a Pokemon fan. That's why I've made drawings of Pokemons and also real birds, because I was a complete and utter bird watcher, I think it was. Yeah, I think I was. I was a bird watcher at that time, and you can see why I was so good at doing origamis, and that's why I've done it somehow. I mean, look at the amount of origami toys that I've done, usually in the theme of birds, bird-related figures, I think it was, and also on the animal-related stuff and whatnot. And interesting. You know, the drawings weren't really great. They were just, you know, very rough and ready in the way they've been rendered and stuff. Somehow I used to remember doing, you know, very funny little drawings like that. That was just my beginning of how to do some very interesting bits of art. But hey, you know, that's how my YouTube channel used to seemingly feel like. Okay, so yeah, I used to remember doing a lot of Tom Ash and Friends type toy reviews, which are like knockoffs of Thomas the Tank Engines, I think it was. Thomas and Friends toys. Very interesting. Yeah, it's so nice. I've been looking around at different stuff, and I used to draw like several pictures and stuff, you know, on MS Paint as thumbnails. And of course, yes, I used to remember doing a whole bunch of thumbnails. Oh my goodness me, I used to do some very fantastic toy reviews. I mean, to be honest, for me, that was my nostalgia. Obviously, I can't believe how much I've done has been somehow almost pretty nostalgic. I mean, look at the amount of video content that I've produced so far. You know, as I was so autistic, I was into like birds and trains, of course. A long time ago. To me, it seems like somehow a very long time ago. Looking at some of the videos on YouTube. I used to wear different t-shirts back then, of course. And that was the setting I used to live. I used to live at the other part, I think it was. Was it Northfield? I think it was, yeah, Northfield. Somehow I really missed that place. Obviously because, you know, that was the standard type toy viewing type area. As obvious as it sounds. And it actually is raining relatively heavily outside. I wonder if there's any thunder or lightning outside. And we've got a massive rainstorm outside here. It's also very windy here today. Okay, it's raining real hard, and I don't know how the heck am I gonna pretty much continue making this video with that extreme weather outside. And I can tell what, look how much rain has fallen. Somehow it's a complete whitewash of a downpour. Oh my god. It almost feels like I'm in the middle of a storm. Obviously, it is absolutely pelting down with rain super hard. I tell you what, I got hints of blue sky here, and it is chronically windy as well too. Oh my god. Never knows. I just hate to have my tablet getting totally and utterly inundated and soaked with water and stuff, but the rain is just absolutely heavy. I tell you, it's just pelting down, and oh my god, it is just heaving downwards somehow. It is just pouring down with rain really hard. Who knows, we might get snow, because obviously tonight will be fairly cold. And oh my god, look at the rain outside. It is just flipping heavy outside. I don't know how much I could really perform that much in terms of how wet the weather it is at the moment now. But with that being said, it is somewhat of a bit of a thing to be aware of. Just a lot of wet weather. It is just completely and utterly wet today, and it's raining somehow. You can see the trees have decided to turn green because we're coming up towards summer, and I can't believe this. It is just pelting hard with rain outside. Oh my crikeys, I can just see it, how much rain has fallen. Oh my goodness, I think it's very persistent with all of that wet weather, I tell ya. Crikeys, I can't believe it now. And there's another car here. Maybe I need to get back off what I was actually doing. And I can't believe how much rain has fallen so far this month in spring. Oh my god. As you were saying, you get April showers, isn't it? It's a complete another nutshell. And I think it's starting to get extremely heavy now. Well, not as heavy as I initially thought in the first place, but somehow one of the heaviest downpours I've seen. And I might as well just close the window because I want to get back to what I was doing. Sorry about the rain here, but let me just recap. Seeing those thumbnails really has a very genuine representation of what my channel used to look like. And the part I really remember was just simplistic drawings of birds that were designed after a Pokemon type design, I think it was. Yeah, interesting. I just don't know why. Whenever I remember, don't know why I did drawings like this. It was just somehow interesting. I've opened the window a bit so I can hear the rain outside, even though it's not that necessary because it's just pouring out of rain. And yes, apart from toy views, I used to do a whole bunch of animations and whatnot. And I think that rain is getting absolutely heavy. I'm probably going to come back to it. And oh my crikeys, look how much rain it is straight forward pouring down real hard. Oh my god. I don't know how I'm going to do a very decent toy view with this kind of weather here. It is just pouring down with flipping amounts of rain here. Oh my crikeys, it is just pouring down with heaps of rain. And oh my crikeys, look at this. It is just pouring down. It's basically just exploding. I mean, look how much rain is just accumulating downwards. I mean, oh my crikeys, look at that. Of all that short and sharp nature of showers, I mean, look at that. It is just flipping wild, and seeing all of that rain just falling within like minutes. And there you go, I can see some water dripping from, like, you know, the telephone wires and stuff, of where we get our internet and whatnot. And so look at that, look how much rain it's fallen. It's just accumulating the whole gutter here. Tell you what, it's gonna splash almost anywhere. It is just flipping wet, I tell ya. And I don't know how am I gonna really do a very decent toy view. Or, well, I'm not doing toy views now because obviously, you know, I've decided to give up on doing toy views this week. I'm sorry about that. But obviously looking at how much rain, that is quite a lot. That is fairly a huge ton full of rain. A complete deluge of a car just driving past by. Crikeys. That is a lot of water. Oh man. Who knows about that? Another flash flood could probably occur on the cards, eh? Well, apart from the rain outdoors, I used to remember doing like very simple MS Paint thumbnail like drawings, which were just dumbed down into a very simplistic design. Some of them were designed very complexly, in a sense. But hey, that was pretty much somehow the good old days on my YouTube channel. I used to remember doing lots and lots of origami toy reviews because I was in my sixth form age. I think it was at school, I think it was. And I used to do like various drawings of birds and, origami models and also toy reviews. Like some of the toy trains that I have in my room, that's actually fairly nice. And also the paper toys that I used to make back then. And hey, it was one of these things, I tell you what, guys, I used to make a very decent amount of stuff on my YouTube channel. I mean, that's fairly fair to say, obviously. Great to know. I can't really remember how much I've done, and oh my goodness, here is the part that really signified the way I make videos. Lockdown. I didn't make any videos throughout lockdown because everyone had to isolate and pretty much work from home, and that was one of the most synonymously infamous times that we had to endure. And I definitely say the pandemic has really shifted and chopped and changed. It really has changed the way society has been like of what happened, I suppose, years. Crikeys, I can't believe how much I've done. I've also got, like, other toys I used to remember doing. I used to do a bit of thunderstorm activity videos. That was a long time ago I used to remember doing. And illustrations like that. I mean, flipping out, I used to do some very good drawings of birds. And that was my prime time feature. I used to do that. Somehow that was excellent. And also very good reaction type videos. I used to do a whole bunch of toy reviews and merchandise videos and whatnot. That was something. Somehow I nearly thought I could just do multiples and multiples of toy review related stuff. But then, hey, everything has started to change the fabric of what I used to do. But strange enough, as sad as it sounds, it's all been different. And as you can see, why the hell everything is all different these days is, well, I suppose I'll tell you a different story. And, I have made a whole bunch of toy reviews back then and around, during the Easter holidays. I think Easter 2021, unfortunately, well, I didn't do any toy reviews where, unfortunately, I had one of the worst Easter holidays of all time. Easter is usually one of the most, hypercritically, one of the most panned of all the events I seem to get because, it always doesn't seem to end well somehow with Easter time. And really, that's how, oh my goodness, I used to remember doing, back then in the pandemic, I used to do these vlogs. Oh, sorry, I thought I've seen lightning outside. Or maybe I've just heard thunder. I might be totally wrong. But, yeah. Okay, so as I'm just scrolling around, let me just scroll back. I used to remember doing vloggers type videos on YouTube. I used to remember doing like day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4, day 5. I used to remember doing this back on YouTube. All of these vloggers type videos on YouTube. Somehow I used to remember doing a whole bunch of those, sometimes in days and stuff. Who knows, that was somehow one of the biggest core things I used to remember doing, toy reviews. I used to do 31 days, but not anymore now, but hey. Somehow I think I remember doing vloggers toy reviews in several days and other whatnot. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, I used to remember doing these toy reviews quite a while though, back then in 2021. They were excellent memories, I tell you what. Also got into the Penguin Club of Toys. They were actually somehow fairly awesome to look at. And then I also had a look at some origami thingy-bobs as well. Also designed some toy vehicles and stuff, cars and trucks. and buses. I used to remember doing videos of them, of like, they were fantastic to look at. And we've got a crow squawking at that part of the video, which, is that really necessary to hear about that? I don't know. It's somehow very much obvious in a sense. And I used to remember doing lots and lots of toy reviews back then. You know, that was the best part around 2021, and, you know, just before 2022, where we started to, I decided to, have a go at doing other stuff. You know, all of it was just toy reviews. See that? You know, that was something I really seem to have missed. I also did some spider-related videos on YouTube as well, because, you know, I was starting to practice on, you know, catching spiders, just like guys in Australia. And really, that's why I decided to do that, for the sake of being a bit of a person who's a bit of a nutcase, you know, like a flippin' full-grown Aussie who has decided to catch spiders, just like back home in Australia. But of course, yes, there's a lot of other toys. You know, it's interesting. You know, 2021 and 2022 started to have some very concisely well done made flip-flap toys. And also the content started to pump up much better than what I initially thought in the first place. But then, of course, yes, as I just scrolled down throughout the rest of what I've done so far in 2021, 2022, then came a downfall. And what really happened was that, yes, I made a whole bunch of origami toys, but then things started to change. That change overall has been somehow one of the biggest things that I think is probably going to deduct down as something that my YouTube channel is going to say goodbye, good riddance to what I've done. And I mean, I've done a whole bunch of flip-flop toys back then, you know, a whole bunch of vloggers videos. That was the big challenge, was to do all 31 days in 2022. Then I did another reaction video, which is pretty flippin' hilarious. Maybe I need to do another reaction video, I think. But then, yeah, that's all I could really say, hey. And yes, there's Queen Elizabeth II's death. Yeah, she passed away. That was really sad to hear about it. And as I scroll relatively down, what really came after that was that when my mental health deteriorated by late September of 2022, unfortunately, I was a victim of domestic violence. And as you can just see, I did leave my YouTube channel around October of 2022. But then I did work on a new animation. And then I also worked on several animations that I've done so far, and also the videos of late. And luckily enough, I did move into another new residence that was called Manila Road, which I think it does seem to evoke that of Northfield, but it's not Northfield, as sad as it sounds. And of course, yes, I might probably do another video relating to the history of my YouTube channel, because, you know, even if I still do toy reviews, I don't do them as much as what I've done in the past. Anyways, I think that's about it in this video. Please give this video a very good like, subscribe for more flip-flap videos in the future, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'm going to extend you. Bye for now.